So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Probably most of you are late. Oh, sorry, gentlemen. So, anyways, whoever's watching this, I welcome you all. This is a very niche channel, niche topic. You're watching this probably if you're a marketer, advertiser, corporate, or something, or somebody who has to do something, somebody who has to do something with the whole field, right? And today, I'd like to discuss about the DIC email, disrupt, intrigue, click. Yes, that's all there is to it. You just disrupt the reader, intrigue them, and get them to click. Majority of the selling would be done in the sales page. Now, before we start cooking, right now, my plan with this now, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Samir, and I've been watching all these breakdowns and conversions. So let's say sales letter breakdowns from guys like Games of Conversion or Chaba and Kyle Milligan, and I've watched a lot of breakdowns on the YouTube, and I thought like I'd do it myself because as copywriters, marketers, we have to break down copy each and every day, right? And given that we have to do it each and every day because we have to keep our mind at the top of its game so that we understand what the market is using, what our competitors and what people in other industries are using, and we need to synthesize all of that good stuff so that we could have angles, marketing angles to come up with for our own offers or for our clients offers. And that's why I and every good marketer out there consistently studies this kind of stuff, and I just thought like why like I would make one as well because as I said, we'd have to do it either way, so I might as well record it and put it out there, and this would be a good portfolio for myself as well because I make content. That's fun thing to do. Anyways, today is gonna be a short one. Right now, we're only breaking down emails and Facebook ads sometimes, and website copy every now and then. And I also broke down a long form sales letter like 2 3 days ago from the Lee Euler institution. They're constantly sending out good promos even now. So let's cut the yapping session. Let's just get into it. Before I begin, I always like to talk about the environment of the whole thing. Now, I don't know when I subscribe to this list because I constantly like subscribe to multiple different lists, and I don't know what happens when or whose email I get. But the whole, you see, like you can tell from the subject line itself, right? That this is very intriguing. This is how I treat my cancer patients. You've never heard of this anywhere. Like this is how I treat my cancer patients. Like tell me, do you actually hear this each and every day? No, right? Cancer, like it's somewhat like untreatable, right? I mean, like chemotherapy and shit, it works, but this is not something. This is unusual. And unusual stuff always drives curiosity. And the environment of the whole thing, let me come back to it before I like dive into the subject lines and the body copy. The environment of the whole thing is just is it's a health newsletter. People probably signed up to it because they'd get a free discount, or they'd sign up to a free newsletter so that they would learn more information, like learn more about the whole learn more about health in general. And probably they had some good lead magnets to get them into the email list, or if they did not, they just ask them to sign up for the newsletter so that they could get more tips and tricks on living healthy, and or just how they can still be healthy because like these people who the list is going to, they are probably between the ages of 30 and above. And generally people below that don't sign up for newsletters like this because it just does not fit, like the product market fit, the company market fit isn't the same, is not good. Fuck am I saying? It's not like the product and the market, or this just the company and the market are two different things. It's just not targeted to young guys like me or young guys below the ages of 30. Probably, in my opinion, that is because this is probably probably signed up to this from like nulogic nutritionals, and that is probably a supplement brand or something like along the lines of that. And only like old guys, or let's say people who are genuinely like interested and nerd about their health, subscribe to newsletters like these. And this is a cold, in my opinion, like this, I probably myself as the reader, if I have to like take myself as the reader here, I fall into the, between the warm and the cold line, right? Cold spectrum. Because I'm not that cold because I subscribe to the email list, but I'm not that warm because I can see me. I'm surprised to look at this the same way you are, because I have never read an email from them. But all of a sudden, you pop into the inbox and you steal the interest, steal the build curiosity, get them to click. And this was effective because my emails are, filled with all sorts of junk. And that's how normal people's emails are. They're filled with all sorts of junk and all sorts of freebies and guides and tactics like that. And your email just gets buried. And so, hmm, yeah, that's all there is to it. I'm looking at it from a slightly colder perspective because I'm assuming myself as the reader. Okay, but this is probably targeted, as I said, people above the ages of 30, because that those are their target audience. I don't know for sure what they are, but young people generally don't subscribe to these things, right? So here we have a good branding element, right? All that good stuff. You can tell that it's from a company by this, and sometimes it could affect you, sometimes it might not, because it also drives a professional element, gives a professional element to all this. And you might say that it also strips off the personality element, but because you can see his face, it probably looks more, let's say, believable. And this is probably going to lead them to a VSL. So let's just analyze. This is how I treat my cancer patients. This is very out of the box, right? Bills can intrigue. Now you can swipe this subject line, but I don't want to, because I just like following the structure and understanding the bigger picture on a grand scheme of things, because these people have been sending the newsletter for a while, and they're going to keep sending people, they're going to keep getting people into the list, they're going to keep promoting the newsletters, and they're going to keep making more content, and the conversion cycle is long, and it is just going to keep on happening. That's why email newsletter or email marketing is a long game. It's not come tomorrow, go tomorrow thing, right? I hope you got that point. Okay, I've yapped enough. Let's just, okay, very intriguing subject line. So that's the framework is to build like intrigue, like get them to open your email. It should either be very like curiosity driven, as in you have to intrigue them enough to get them to open, just like this one, or it must be like valuable and beneficial for them to open, like how you like those how to emails that you see in your inboxes, right? How to do X, how to do X without Y, right? Those type of elements and emails are generally the ones you should opt for if you need to get that click and if you need to engage your readers. This is pretty good in my opinion, and I don't like swiping like stuff like this. I just like understanding the whole bigger picture and just understanding like why it worked, right? Very contradicting element. Let's say, um, I forgot juxtaposition, right? Not this is not about juxtaposition. I'm sorry, I can't find the word for now. Let's just say this was intriguing enough to open it. The dear reader, addressing, nothing new. Addressing the reader, nothing new here. Every week I see cancer patients at my exclusive Manhattan practice. Every week I see cancer patients at my now. Doesn't this position him as an authority, right? Well, who gets the cancer patients? Probably a doctor. Duh. Probably somebody who knows about health. Duh. At my exclusive Manhattan practice. Now, what the hell is that? Secrecy, exclusivity, right? Exclusive Manhattan practice. What the hell is his practice? I'd like to know about. This is how I treat them. How do you actually treat a cancer patient? People who are interested in topics like these are very intrigued. It's a very intriguing element. You'll care to see it for yourself or a loved one. Okay. CDA, right? Okay. So we disrupted the reader, we intrigued them, we asked them to click, and majority of the selling would be done in the sales page as I told you earlier on, or the VSL, which is as part of sales page. So every week I see patients at my exclusive Manhattan practice. Intrigue part. Let's just. Oh shit. No. Disrupted the reader with the subject line, intrigued them, asked them for a click. Whenever you like, how can you identify a DIC email or a DIC email? No pun intended. Is they're just probably shorter than most copies because they just don't use the whole throat clearing copy, or they just don't dive into the whole story analogy, metaphors, and examples, and citing studies and stuff like that. That just is not necessary because majority, as I said, majority of the selling would be done in the sales page. I think it's enough yap for the day. Sometimes these kind of emails just work. Okay, you don't have to do all the salesy stuff, and if your copies are good, if your funnel is already built and your systems are pretty good, then all you need to do is direct them to the other page, and majority of the selling would be done. So if you like have a sales page and majority of the selling is done there, then you don't need to like write a bunch of text, right? You can test it out. You could try a PAS email, you could try an ADA, you could try a DIC, or you could just leverage your case studies. And there are like multiple different practices for emails in general. And email marketing is one of the greatest like mechanism or forms of marketing media. So we already have like bunch of winning promos and winning emails, and we can always test things out. We can like optimizing the email rate, sorry, the open rates, the conversion, sorry, the CDRs. Open rates are not that good of a metrics these days because the whole iPhone thing, like you don't know if like it affects the like open rates, right? So yeah, that's all there is to it. Everything else that I've been saying is a bonus. Like I've been yapping around it for a long time, but all there is to it is disrupt, intrigue. Sorry, all there is to this is disrupt, intrigue, and click. Common framework. Enough. You can't fuck this up. So this is probably a VSL. Is this headline enough? And that is the job of your headline as well. It's the only job of this to get you to watch the video. You don't have to do anything. This is a warm list. It's going to an email list, so you don't have to worry about all that. Um, the absurd amount of headlines that you need to come up with. Because when we like break down the OG stuff from copywriter like marketers who are the best ones, who have been in the game for a long time, and let's just say the ones I'm talking about are Eugene Schwartz and the old school direct response copywriters, Clayton Makepeace, Eugene Schwartz, David Deutsch, Jim Rudds, and people like them. And whenever you read their copy, like because they wrote for an entirely different market. The market now is sophisticated, and you don't have to use headlines like those that they did back in the day. Of course, you can. It's gonna be beneficial, but you just need to understand the product market fit in terms of your, let's say, a copy market fit, because it's going to a warm list. People have been opening your emails for long for it's a good enough time. They know about you, they have heard about you, they've consumed your content, so you don't have to do the whole cold traffic selling to a warm audience. That's a dumb thing to do in my opinion, because if you don't even know what type of audience or who is seeing your copy, then that's one of the worst place to be in as a copywriter. That's why you should position yourself as a marketer rather than a copywriter. I hope you get that point. I don't know, I don't feel good about this episode today because my thoughts have not been articulate as other ones. Probably because English is not my first language, obviously, I think you can tell. I'm not gonna whine about English not being my first language though in every episode. It's just that I have to practice because you're gonna get cooked. The world is the world's not gonna wait for me to learn English so everything catches pace. I'm not just about speaking English, not just like having a good accent. It's more about being able to effectively communicate your thoughts to a fucking screen or a fucking light bulb. That tells me that, or like talking to a screen. Let's just say. So let's just break down this. So this is how I treat my cancer patients. Now this is relevant to the people because only people who open this email are gonna go to this. So it's probably gonna be more personalized, and there's higher likelihood of people reading the whole thing and probably watching the whole VSL. And today you have a VIP invitation to learn all the details directly from the genius. VIP invitation, exclusivity to learn all the details, step by step, easy emotion, directly from the Genius MD as in authority, directly. So there's no gatekeeping and there's no middleman and stuff who has spent decades. Now predictability, it gives you like you're in safe hands, that kind of stuff. The whole easy emotion and big emotion, right? Now learning about cancer, it could not be a big benefit, but it is for some people out there. Well, people out there because it just intrigues them. That's it. Who has spent decades uncovering it. So a guy went out there, tried a lot of stuff, got a huge amount of experiences, synthesized everything he learned, and now right now presents it in front of you. And that is what we call info marketing or info product marketing, information marketing, because you're saving a lot of people. Sorry, saving the time for a lot, saving their time, saving their money, saving their effort. A kick-ass headline, in my opinion. I don't think like many people are able to write headlines like this. All they're able to write is offer headlines, and what I mean by that is how to get X results and Y time frame, else how to get X results and Y time frame with or else my money back or risk reversal. It won't work each and every fucking time, right? How to get X results, and Y time frame with my unique mechanism, else your money back. I mean, it can work, but the market's gonna get sophisticated. The principles around it are very fucking strong, and they're gonna last for a long time. But the market's sophisticated. The market's getting more claims like these, and they're just gonna think that you're not a scammer. So, and because that's what they have associated this headline as, a scam. So you need to know that the market's gonna get sophisticated, and you need more claims and different offers. That's why the offer type of headlines never work. This is not a offer headline. You're not getting a direct offer, right? There's an underlying concluding element to this. And I know that we're getting very descriptive with this, but that's what copy is. That's like you have all the structures coming into place, and all of it just flows so good, right? It's just good copy. It's so obvious without being obvious, if you know what I mean. It's so subtle, right? So we're probably not gonna read the entire VS or watch the entire VSL. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna break down the whole lead part only.
This wasn't supposed to happen in America.
Pattern interrupt, right? Like interrupting your pattern. This wasn't supposed to happen in America. What wasn't supposed to happen in America?
Despite all of our medical advancements, cancer rates in this country have
Now they're gonna put you into a negative tone because that's what health brands generally do. They're gonna put you into a negative tone, and they're gonna the problem agitation solution part really how like works in the whole health space because you have a health problem. The agitation part is probably your death, you dying. So the health brands have greater leverage upon over like other or other niches because they can leverage death, right? So on the agitation
increased
part
by a jaw-dropping
now they did a whole social proof part as in they researched it, right? Very specific with their headlines.
170% in the past 50 years. And decades of forgotten research show
Oh, sorry, we did not break down this part, right? We are only accepting up to 80 people per day. So watch now. Limitation, like scarcity and urgency part, right?
shows one of the reasons for this shocking increase could be linked to a common kitchen
ingredient, more intrigue building element, right? So, okay, so this is very deadly. And this is like, this is linked to a common kitchen ingredient, as in my kitchen, more intrigue.
ingredient. In 2017, a group of California researchers made the discovery of a lifetime
Now this they are going through the whole story element, right? The story route. That way people read more, and whenever you cite a study, it's more like a story as well. It acts as a story. It's not a story, it's a whole research thing. It acts as a social proof, but it also acts as a story and an analogy, or not an analogy, sorry, poor choice of words.
time. They unearthed decades of forgotten
So when you use like words, when you like use audio, and when you like represent the words on the screen, what happens is people retain more information, and the more information they retain, the more like they still let the information sink in more. They let the copy element sink in as well. So indefinitely they would like consume your copy, which makes them more probable to sell.
solid scientific evidence that suggests this ingredient, called DSD, found in practically every house
They're going through the whole, now that the DSD ingredient now implies there's more curiosity element, there's a secret element to all this, and they're probably gonna go through the whole this element and this food. So what should you do? They're gonna tell you what you should do. They're gonna give you some solutions, and then they're gonna tell you how the mechanism works and what are the alternatives and why you should not opt for the alternatives and why they're the best and their uniqueness, their unique mechanisms. They're going to show you a lot of social proof. They're going to cite a lot of studies, and they're going to ask you to sign up for whatever this is. So that's the pattern it generally follows. Of course, I'm not going to assume it follows, but we don't have an hour or two to give to this because it's probably that long, or let's say probably like 20 to 40 minutes worth. So I can't sit there and watch all this video because nobody's watching this breakdowns anyways. So the whole point is me trying to be more articulate with my thoughts so that I can speak more well in front of my camera and try to do this long term, because I have to do this long term. As I said in the beginning of the video, that we have to do this all full time as a copywriter, marketer, right? We need to study, and if not today, if my content is not good today, it might be tomorrow. You can probably tell my microphone is whack as well. You can probably hear what I'm saying, right? Or let's say the audio is distorted. We're gonna get a good microphone. Right now I'm busy with my client work, and I'm busy learning all of this stuff and integrating with my whole thing. And people tell me like AI is gonna take over copywriting. Let it, right? I mean, I myself use Claude and Chat GPT, and I'm getting like 10x the work done, and it's really fucking useful for me. So I don't know who is gonna replace. I'm getting 10 times the amount of work done I'm stacking more skills, right? Learning more AI and trying to leverage it rather than being scared of it, right? You need to learn more. You need to position you. You need to ride the wave. There's a wave happening in the industry right now with the whole AI boom. So you need to position yourself as the one who can solve the problem, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do myself. I'm learning more stuff. I'm trying to integrate it in my stuff. And I don't know when you're watching this, if you're watching in the future, trying to learn something from me. And this is how I think at the moment. These are my thinking patterns. So if you I'm just trying to add a personality element to all this because just breaking down sales letters might come off as robotic. So this is what I think as of now. I don't know how the future is gonna turn out. So I'm yapping too much. This like I have another channel as well where I discuss about all this stuff and I just point out like pour my raw thoughts into the screen or into my videos, but this is not for it. I mistook and I yapped in this video as well. So but I don't care. I don't think anybody's even watching it anyway. So yeah, that's it. I just have to pretend. It helps me be more articulate. It gives me that practice because the like 100 videos, the first 100 videos you upload are gonna be the wackiest and the shittiest of all time because you don't know what the hell you're doing, and I probably don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can see the systems falling into place. I can see how I can be more articulate with my words and not yap all the time and not fuck it up, fuck all of it, not fuck up the structure, not fuck up the wordings, not fuck up the whole, let's say, the environment of my videos. So 27 minutes in, and probably I yapped for 12 minutes. I need to be more. I need to use more strong words and just try to like you know summarize the concept in much more, like make my statements or make my conclusions more concrete, if that makes sense. I just wanted to rant. Thanks for listening. Anyways, see you on the next one. DDOS of swipe number 16. Oh, sorry, number 15 tomorrow. Yeah, this time I'm gonna go for good.